This isn't just another tech review of the Asus ROG Zephyrus G14. This is a year-long journey of gaming, content creation, work, spreadsheets, and the occasional thermal drama, but we'll get into that in a second. From the first time that I booted it up in March of 2023 to becoming the daily driver of not just one, but two power users in this house, this laptop has stories to tell. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's talk about some truths about this compact little powerhouse. Some of those truths can get a little bit heated. Welcome back to the Pixel Pub, where we like to talk tech, content creation, gaming, and toast to the digital life. It's Guinness, so I have to let it settle for a second. Cheers. All right, now that we've got our spawn pint, I want to jump right into this computer. Look at these awesome lights on the back. Oh, you can't see them? Oh, yeah, that's because my version doesn't actually have them. They made two different versions, one with the lights on the back and one without the lights on the back. I don't know why they made two different versions. I assumed that this one was cheaper, and since I went for the cheapest version, that's what it came with. Sitting towards the wall the entire day while I'm working on it didn't seem like it was a necessity to spend extra money on, so I didn't worry too much about the lights. Either way, with the anima lights or not, this laptop still looks really cool. Not only is there a really nice, sleek design on the top, but there's also a really cool pattern on the bottom. The laptop is one of the lightest, smallest, most compact, professional-looking gaming laptop that you're going to find. Not gonna lie, I absolutely love this machine, partially because of the size and the weight. When I wanted to go mobile, I wanted to go full mobile. Nobody wants a 17-inch, 20-something pound monster heating up their backpack while they're walking into a coffee shop. This 14-inch laptop was exactly what I wanted. While we're talking about design, I'm actually a huge fan of the 16:10 aspect ratio on this laptop instead of the 16:9. I feel like it really makes things a lot more usable. Outside of that, every single time that I start using this laptop, the trackpad and the keyboard are something to be absolutely dreamed about. There are very, very few laptops that come as close to the quality and the feel of this trackpad and keyboard. Absolutely amazing quality from these. Next on the list of things to talk about for this machine is the performance. And now, I don't really have anything new to report. This is the 2022 model of the G14. You can find reviews and specs all over the internet. But the Ryzen 9 6900HS and the RX 6800S GPU have been more than enough to handle all of the gaming, the Photoshop, Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve. It's been able to handle all of that just fine. Other than specifically the RAM. It did come with 16 gigabytes of RAM, which wasn't quite enough when you're trying to do a little bit of multitasking. There are definitely some games out there already that will start to max that out when you're trying to multitask, when you've got a couple of Chrome browsers open, when you've got Discord and you're trying to play a game at the same time. The 16 gigabytes can definitely feel like it's not quite enough. 16 gigabytes should be plenty for most, but for gaming and content creation, I wanted a little bit more. And I knew that this was a machine that I was going to keep for a while, so I didn't want to have that be the issue. The good thing is it's a really easy fix. It was $85 for a 32 gigabyte stick of RAM, or closer to 45 for a 16 gig stick, to be able to up that a little bit more. Now, it came with 8 gigabytes of RAM soldered onto the motherboard and an 8 gigabyte stick installed. So you do have to replace that 8 gigabyte stick, which is why I went with the 32 gigabyte stick. Added to the 8 that's soldered onto the motherboard, and I've got 40 gigabytes of RAM in this machine now, working absolutely flawlessly. All of this so far has been pretty good stuff about this laptop. Let's talk about one of the things I'm not quite a fan of so far, and I might need a drink to cool it down a little bit in here. This laptop gets hot. And unfortunately, not in the same way that my wife refers to me every day. Hot in like the hot pocket straight out of the microwave stuck to the top of your roof kind of hot. We're talking 90 degrees hot, like booting up Fortnite, not even benchmarking or anything along those lines. So I tried a couple different things to see if I could get anything to work. I bought these two cooling stands that have fans on the bottom of them, and to my surprise, neither of them actually did much. So I sent this one back because it was really expensive, and ended up keeping this one just because it was nice to have a laptop stand. What we did find helped out a little bit was having a fan blowing on top of the laptop. Having a little desk fan pointed at the top cooled it down about 10 degrees pretty darn quickly. So I'm not an engineer or anything. I don't know how the fans in this are positioned or blowing, but that was the only thing that kind of seemed to work for us. That being said, the heat never really caused an issue. It was never throttling or anything along those lines. It was just physically hot to the touch. I have seen some fixes online that talk about turning off ultra performance mode and things along that lines, but I'm not really interested in purposefully throttling this machine just so that it doesn't hit those high kinds of temperatures. I feel like it should be able to do that itself. The other thing that I'm not really a fan of this laptop is the fact that it has a proprietary power cable. The brick is pretty massive, but that being said, it is par for the course on big, massive, powerful gaming laptops like this. And unfortunately, when you, or maybe your wife, or whoever lost it, we're not pointing fingers, whoever lost it, when somebody does lose that power cable, the replacements are pretty darn expensive. Everything else on this machine has actually been pretty fantastic. The amount of ports on the sides, I love having the extra USB-C ports. I love having the micro SD card slot on the side, as well as still a full HDMI port. The battery life has been more than enough because when you unplug the device, it tones down a lot of the power of the GPU, which again, when you're going mobile, you're typically not playing a ton of games unless you're plugging in. If there is anything else that you're interested in knowing about this machine, make sure you drop it down in the comments. Either way, I would give this machine a solid 8 out of 10. We're losing 1 point because of the heat issues, and probably losing another because it's not a sick gaming desktop. I can't customize, mod, and do a bunch of crazy stuff like I did with this thermal take build I'll link right up above here. But if you need a machine that is capable of gaming, content creation, video editing, streaming, and also want to be ultra portable, this has got to be one of the top machines on your list. If you are interested in seeing the entire process of taking this machine apart and replacing the RAM, make sure you click this video right here. We'll see you over there. I'm drinking over in that one too. Yeah, we'll see you there.